PROSUS and NASPERS Group has named NICO as CFO. Marais, who has been serving on an interim basis since December last year, has been with the group for over 2 decades. He is said to have played a pivotal role in several key initiatives. These include the successful listing of PROSUS, the unwinding of the cross-holdings, as well as PROSUS's debt capital market activities. A lackluster diamond market is weighing on Astoria. The investment vehicle says continued price pressure along with uncertainty in the global market led to downward adjustments on the carrying value of its diamond assets, and that contributed to its net asset value per share declining by over 6% for the quarter ended March. ASTORIA'S added that uncertainty surrounding the impact of the U.S.'s tariffs on diamonds imported into the USA has led to a further slowdown in diamond trade globally. WEBUYCARS expects to report higher core headline earnings at the halfway stage. South Africa's largest second-hand vehicle trader says an increase of 24 to 28% is on the cards. It hasn't disclosed what's driving that outlook, but more detail will be provided when it opens its books next month. ESKOM wants to take over indebted municipalities' electricity services, but it needs the support of the National Treasury and wants it to compel municipalities that are in arrears to allow the utility to take over. This comes as arrears in municipal debt to ESKOM sat at nearly 100 billion rand by the end of March. That's a 33% increase over the previous year. ESKOM CEO Dan Marokane has described the situation as dire and says unless resolved, this debt may negate the impact of the debt relief package the government's granted ESKOM. In international news, this HSBC launched a $3 billion share buyback after reporting a 25% fall in first quarter profit, warning of increased business uncertainty amid U.S. President Donald Trump's global tariffs. Here's more detail in this report.
HSBC launched a $3 billion share buyback after reporting a 25% fall in first quarter profit on Tuesday. It warned of heightened business uncertainty in the face of Donald Trump's sweeping global tariffs. As part of its plan to trim its smaller businesses globally, the bank said it has launched a strategic review of its Malta operations, which is still at an early stage. The London-based bank reported profit before tax of $9.5 billion in the first quarter. That compared with $12.7 billion a year earlier. It reported $900 million in expected credit losses for the quarter, including $150 million to reflect heightened economic uncertainty. Europe's biggest bank by market capitalization left unchanged its performance target. It said it's looking to redeploy up to $1.5 billion of costs from non-core businesses into more strategic activities. These include wholesale transaction banking and an expansion of its Asian wealth business.
And German sportswear giant Adidas stated that rising U.S. import tariffs and trade uncertainty are affecting its forecasts and planning. Let's take a look for more detail.
Adidas warned about higher U.S. import tariffs and uncertainty around trade on Tuesday. The German sportswear giant said it was clouding its forecast and making it difficult to plan. CEO Bjorn Gulden said the company would have hiked its revenue and profit guidance for this year after strong first quarter results. But tariff uncertainty meant it decided to hold back. Adidas expects the blanket increase in US tariffs to eventually cause price increases across all its products. However, it said it was currently impossible to quantify those or to establish the likely impact on US consumer demand. Golden added Adidas has already reduced exports of China-made goods to the US to a minimum. He said it is still somewhat exposed to much higher US tariffs on Chinese goods. Unexpectedly high US tariffs on Southeast Asian countries like Vietnam and Indonesia came as a surprise to sportswear brands, although they were paused until July. The companies make most of their sneakers and clothing there. Adidas said it would strive to ensure US retail partners and consumers get products at the best possible price. It further said it would try to compensate for uncertainty in the US by boosting its performance in the rest of the world. First quarter sales rose 14% in Europe and 13% in Greater China and were up just over a quarter in Latin America. Sales in North America increased just 3%, which Adidas said was due to the phase-out of its Yeezy sneaker line. Adidas stuck to its full-year guidance but warned uncertainties could put negative pressure on this later in the year.